Hello and welcome back to my survival world where I am building the tallest Minecraft base. In the last episode I reached the halfway mark of 500 blocks. In this episode I will not build any higher but finish some leftover projects. I will complete the garden with 5 more biomes, move a glowsquid to the top of the tower and capture an elder guardian. The first biome is the charred forest. The idea here is that a forest through volcanic activity has turned into this hellish landscape covered in black ash. I start with this spiral pattern to surround the beacon in the center and then add magma veins around the sides. Black stone is used to separate the veins from the ash around it, and now I can add black and grey concrete powder to imitate the volcanic ash. I set some accent with white ash, and lastly I place the forest elements, basalt and andesite for the burnt trees. Second biome I call the big flower biome. As the name suggests, it consists of oversized flowers and mushrooms. Around the beacon I built a compass-like pattern made from redstone and glass. The landscape in this biome is somewhat hilly and the ground is made up from moss and grass blocks. There's also a little lake to add variety. On top of the moss I place large mushrooms. I experiment with various red blocks to achieve a gradient and I think it came out great. Below the larger mushrooms sit smaller mushrooms, leaves and also a few flowers. On top of the grass I place large flowers. I have a few different models for them, but I don't think they turned out as well as the mushrooms. However, I won't change them now, that's just too much work. In the end the floor is covered with additional decorations. The third biome for today is the red desert. This is inspired by Cupfan's Hermitcraft Season 8 canyon base. In its middle sits a 8-pointed star made from waxed copper to surround the beacon. In the biome itself I place canyons, where each layer is made from a different block. The general landscape is then made up from red sand with a few patches of orange concrete powder. Inside the canyons I put dripstone spikes of various height, and lastly I add a few more decorations. It follows biome number 4. For the yellow biome I'm going with a bee theme. In the middle the beacon is surrounded by a sun pattern made from gold and illuminated with glowstone. For the surrounding biome I first trace out some hexagons with different yellow blocks. They have different heights so that the separation between the hexagons becomes a little bit more clear, and I fill them with two themes. On one hand there are some filled with honey and others filled with gardens. There are several varieties of gardens. There are fields, trees and flowers, and of course various mixtures of them. The final biome is rather uninspired, the moss biome. The central shape somewhat resembles the layout of my garden itself, the circle surrounded by two squares that form an 8-pointed star surrounded by an even larger circle. On the left I built an arch made from terracotta. Here I use brown terracotta tones to give it a dirt-like color. Then I fill the biome with other moss-covered rock formations. The ground is broken and filled with terracotta and more moss. I decorate this biome with all kinds of green plants. The entrance to my base needs an upgrade as well, so I dug out an open space and placed an avenue that leads into the direction of spawn. The whole thing is symmetrical, and on both sides there are hedges, flowers, bushes and trees. The next thing I want to do is move a glowsquid to the top of the tower. In the last episode I said I haven't found a good solution. I still haven't found a good solution, but I found a bad solution. So the idea is I dig a hole till a glowsquid spawns. That is the first step. That one worked. And then in the next step I lure in here, and then I build a flying machine which moves the squid upwards. The only problem is I basically have to build 4 massive walls so that it is filled completely with water to prevent the squid from falling back down. So let's start. So I construct this near 500 block tall structure, build a simple flying machine and move the squid to the top of the base. Now I slowly move it into the column at the center of the sky lobby, where it will remain. With that, the sky lobby is finally finished. Another project delayed was capturing an Elder Guardian. This was unexpectedly even more tedious than moving the squid and took more than an hour, but I did it and moved it into the enclosure that I built a few months ago. I also labeled the elevators, fixed the weeping vine farm, and sorted my terracotta into an additional storage room. After doing 29 of these episodes, I'm kinda running out of steam and ideas, especially regarding the interior of the base, so I will take a break. I will return later this year in a new version of Minecraft with new ideas and new episodes. If you want to explore this world for yourself, there's a download link in the description. Till then, have a great time.